Willie D. Live.
So I
But
don't think they're going to try it again. It's they're spending too much time and resources.
they want
I
him.
don't think they're going to want to go through that again.
See, I think they want him, and I think he's a bad guy, right? I think he did some fucked up shit. I think that in the wake of Weinstein and Epstein and all of that, there is especially the U.S. Attorney's Office, there's a taste for getting these bad celebrities and get consequences for them. And I also think that you've seen clearly the Justice Department focus on people in the hip hop community. And there's questions that might be racially motivated, but there's also a lot of criminality attached to it, I think fairly and unfairly. And I think they see him as, I think they're going to keep going after him till they get him for something.
What about the government coming after him for his property, his plane, his houses, his money, even if that money and those other assets aren't tied to any
That
type of
bothers me
criminal
tremendously.
activity?
Bothers me tremendously.
Is that even legal?
Like if they want to assess a fine, like whatever the fine is associated with the crimes they're prosecuting them, okay, sure. Whatever the fine you want. I mean, a fine is a cost and consequence of a punishment. But I mean, they are trying for these sweeping, and like if the women who claim they were victimized by him, I think Cassie settled a long time ago, but if they want to sue him, that's one thing. But for the government to take shit that should go to his children, unless he did illegal shit to get that money, they should not. And there's going to be a robust argument on the forfeitures. And I think they'll have a hard time establishing that this racketeering and trafficking, if they do get a conviction, somehow resulted in this financial windfall, because it seems like he spent a lot of money on it and actually probably hurt him more than helped him financially. But I think it's legal because we built this system where the government can do whatever the fuck they want. But I think it's bullshit. I don't think the case is bullshit. I think Diddy's a shitty human being who got away with being a shitty human being for a long time. And I think he was the facilitator and the ringleader for a lot of other Hollywood stars to be shitty human beings. There's been a lot of quiet shit. All these people talking about Diddy parties, they've gotten real quiet. And I do think there was victimization of young men and young women, teenagers, children. I think there's just a bunch of sexual perversion, and the question is whether it's crime.
When you say young, clarify. Do you mean underage?
Yeah, I mean underage teenagers.
If that was the fact, they would absolutely have some type of testimony to that. They haven't introduced any of that into the court.
Right.
I think if they had something like that on him, that would be the nail in the coffin.
I don't think they have participating witnesses. I think that there was, I think Hollywood, the fact that Hollywood acts like it should be, the entertainment industry as a whole on the East and West Coast act like they should tell all of us and the rest of the United States how we should be living and what our ethics and priorities should be is fucking insane to me. Because what we're seeing in this Diddy case is just how rich, famous people just do whatever the fuck they want constantly, while also getting up at the Oscars and the Emmys and telling the rest of us how to fucking live, which is fucking crazy to me. I think the only reason Diddy's being prosecuted is because the release of the Cassie Ventura beating video sparked some interest. I think they will probably eventually convict him of something. I think that there's a good chance this ends with a hung jury, but I'd say it's probably 60 conviction, 40% hung jury, right? I still think more likely than not they're going to convict him. And I think he's going to get a lot of time in prison. And that bothers me if it's not specifically associated with shit he was convicted of, right? And the defense attorneys are doing a pretty good job. And I believe that Cassie, when you're beaten and abused, you get in this mindset where you think you have to. But they did a very good job with old texts and old communications and old photos and old videos kind of picking apart her position. But I do think that he's an abuser and a sociopath. And I think that the problem is there's not going to be accounting for all those, from Jennifer Lopez and all those other people moving forward. A lot of famous actors who were all about the Diddy party and all about Diddy, until this shit happened. And now they all gotten real fucking quiet.